hit subscribe. Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas, an advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father, I have black sons. Hey man, I do what I do.
Welcome to the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I hope everybody's having a great day. I would like to acknowledge all my people who are in here. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Make sure as you enter into the chat room, you subscribe to the channel. I certainly would appreciate you all doing that. Please subscribe to the channel. And good evening, Renam, Connie Harj, Delon, thank you all so much. I appreciate everybody in here tonight. As we march towards 100,000, I'd appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the channel to help me get to that mark. That'd be very helpful if you would just come on in and subscribe to the channel before we get started. Good evening, Chantel Smith. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I have an unwanted guest here who decided to occupy my seat. The infamous Buddy is trying to return, so I'm going to let Buddy go somewhere else. Hopefully he'll find another seat that he finds more pleasurable instead of mine. That's why, like, you got to chill out, Buddy. Move your ass out the way, goddammit, Buddy. I'm trying to make some money. Damn, Buddy, shit. Yo, you know it's hard enough talking to all these goddamn people. Get your ass out of here. I'm sorry. Buddy, move your ass now, shit. Anyway, welcome back to the broadcast. Thank you all. Thank you all. Somebody said, just looking at that cat triggers my allergies. Buddy is something else. Buddy used to make a lot more appearances when he was, he had less lizards to chase in the backyard. But lately he finds other things to do. But he likes my seat. Whatever seat I have, that's the seat that Buddy likes to sit in. But yeah, shout out to Buddy. Somebody type love Buddy in the chat room. Love Buddy in the chat room. All right, all right. So let me say this. I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. And as I said earlier, and you guys know this, my name is Dennis Spurling, and I'm always here to tackle the issues that are tough, you know, the ones that nobody else wants to deal with, okay? Tonight we're going to have a real conversation, and tonight, tomorrow, whenever you decide to look at this broadcast. It's not going to be a polite conversation. It's not going to be a fake conversation. It's going to be a real one. We're going to talk about the growing tension between foundational Black Americans and Africans, Black Africans. And let me say this clearly from the start. It makes no sense to be angry at us for defining who we are as FBA. For decades, you know, we've been told that we're not African. They told us that we don't look African. They told us that we're Americans. Some Black Americans have gone to Africa and they've told them that you're not even Black, you're white. Okay, so you know it's been years and years of rejection, and we get it. We get it. You know, we got it. You guys like to claim us. You know, on the global scale, those are our Black brothers and sisters. But the minute we come over there and start asking for land and visas and, you know, citizenship, you don't want to give it to us. Nevertheless, that's fine. That's fine. Although we do notice you have no problem with white folks coming over there. And there's plenty of white people in the west coast of Africa. But and there has been for a long time. But the bottom line is, there's really no need to get angry for us defining ourselves. There's no need to become angry because of delineation. See, for decades, if not years, we've been told we're not African. We've been told we have no culture. We've been told we are disconnected. We've been called lazy. We've been called violent. We've been called ungrateful. We've heard those things from white America, and yes, we've heard those things from not only black immigrants, but black Africans in Africa. So when we say fine, we're foundational black Americans, we're a distinct group shaped by slavery, Jim Crow, 400 years of American history. Now suddenly it's divisive. Which one is it? Are we not African? Or are we suddenly the same people when it's time to claim the benefits of the civil rights that our ancestors fought for, or reparations? So you can't spend years distancing yourself from us and then turn around and say we shouldn't separate when we define ourselves. That contradiction is a problem. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. When we bring up history, including the fact that many African groups were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, instead of having a real discussion, the response is often denial or anger. Sometimes it turns into, you're not even our people, that's why we sold you. But when we say we are our own people, suddenly now we're supposed to be united. See, that back and forth is what frustrates black Americans. Let's also talk about tribalism. Tribalism isn't just an African issue. It's everywhere. People group, we get it. People protect their own. It's human history. But problems start when people come to America and quickly adopt the negative stereotypes about black Americans, and that creates tension. And whether you call it tribalism or not, it does create tension. And on top of that, many immigrants come here focused on building wealth and buying property, and that's fine. That's their right to do. If the government will let you in and you got in the right way, do what you do. But when it turns around and when you turn around and criticize us for fighting for things like reparations or speak on issues that come from our specific history, that creates friction. And bringing insults from the 1970s like, oh, African booty scratcher. If that defines today's reality, when everyone was being teased and called names back then, that doesn't help move the conversation forward. Black Americans need to stop. We need to stop trying to twist our brains, trying to understand why there's all this tension. Because at some point, we just have to accept that they're looking for conflict. And when I say they, I'm talking about these African immigrants. They're looking for conflict. Okay? And we're going to talk honestly about that today. And then when we have a honest talk, in order to have that honest conversation, we have to talk about current events, but we also have to talk about history. And we don't have to go back that far. We're going to talk about some African history. We're going to talk about some current events, because when you step back and look at even the last 50 years and you look at the wars across the African continent, then a pattern emerges. It's about a pattern about power, a pattern about control, a pattern about governance and instability. And so, before we talk all this unity or division or identity, we need to look at the record and see if these are people we want to even unify with, or can we unify with? Because see, I'm looking at 50 years and I see dozens of wars and I see millions of black bodies dead at the hand of other Africans. You have a continent in conflict. And what those conflicts are really about is going to say a lot about these people. Now, as I always have, I have some videos I want to preview for you guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button. Now, before we get started good, do you all remember this young lady here? Hit the #1 button.
Strapped to my chest.
I want y'all to remember.
Black History Month to everyone except the foundational black Americans. I hate you niggas. I hate you niggas. Let's die. Ooh. If I could gather all of you in one place with a strap to my chest, you know what time it is. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna blow up a spot.
Now, again, you guys have seen this video before. You've heard this young lady. She's a West African immigrant. you know, her words speak for themselves. I want you to listen.
More like me. I'm doing society a favor. But yeah, everybody else, happy Black History Month. I'm even feeling generous towards the biracials.
And I want you also to understand that when they refer to biracials, they're referring to anybody who is not sub-Saharan African, okay? Anybody who's not broad-nosed, thick-lipped, dark-skinned sub-Saharan African. And that's pretty much 99% of foundational Black Americans, or at least someone in your family. We are an amalgamated people, simply because we've been here for 500 years, intermixing with Native American, African, European, pretty much anybody else, okay? Nevertheless, the culture remains the same, and we are of African descent, but we are not Africans. Africa is a continent, okay? We are of the nation of the United States. We are of the American continent, specifically North America. We are of African descent. That's our ancient homeland, or at least one of them, and we don't deny that. We don't deny our Blackness. We understand that our Blackness is what makes us cool. But you are not going to come to my country and tell me what I am or what I am not. But again, these are the attitudes that they bring. They're looking for conflict. And when I finish with this broadcast, they're looking for conflict everywhere. Let's keep listening.
I feel like they've been good recently. They can have that third week maybe.
So she apparently, the internet did what the internet does. You all tracked her down. She was apparently terminated from her job. I think she was working at some sort of educational facility, university. She's terminated from her job, and she's having some issues. And of course, our people, being the people that they are, have had some comments about it. So let's go ahead and preview the roasting. Let the roasting commence.
So they didn't fire this African girl who was threatening FBI. That's what she did. See, white folks dropped them off in our community, swearing up and down we would integrate with these people, but we didn't. They don't like us. As we was working our way up off the system, they put...
Now, I want you to hear what she said. They don't like us. Now, it's not... What I do on my broadcast, and generally speaking, I'm an advocate for Black men. And what that means is I review the position of the people I'm advocating for, and I do that here in the court of public opinion, because this is not a courtroom. But I have a good way of gathering information. I review, I read, I look at the comment section, and I understand what direction our people are heading. There's a collective amongst our people, no matter how many folks want to deny it, I don't care how many Pan-African movements you have, our people believe, and when I say our people, I'm talking about foundational Black Americans, believe that these people don't want to get along with us, that these people don't like us. When they talk about these people, in this particular context, she's referring to Africans. Now, I know you have some African friends. The truth is, I got some African friends that I love to death. I think they're wonderful on an individual basis, but group to group, there's some distrust, there's some disdain. And the thing is, we wouldn't have known about it until they came here. We don't go to Africa in those numbers. You all come to the United States. We may go visit, but why would we go live there? And the people who go there, they talk about the issues. So this is not me saying this. This is the collective. There's a large growing portion of foundational Black American community members who feel like they don't like us. And so that's where we are. So I'm gonna let it play. You heard what she said. I'll let her finish saying what she has to say.
And we would integrate with these people, but we didn't. They don't like us. As we was working our way up off the system, they put them in all the state-ran brace houses. It was brand new at the time. They created these beehives, and they didn't mix with Black people. Not at all. They was told by white people when they got here, don't deal with them Black folks. Don't deal with them. And that's exactly what they did. They listened to white folks. And they thought they was better than us, living in the projects, as we working our way off of the system. they start figuring out how to fraud with all these daycares and shit. Then when they get caught, they call on black folks. And because we ain't running out there to go protest with them and put our bodies on the line, all of a sudden they making threats and they online talking about us and all this other stuff. Black people have done enough. You know, they'll tell you, oh, y'all was teasing us and calling us African booty scratchers. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. We come from people that was lynched,
family friendly,
had their body parts severed.
Yeah.
We some of the most resilient people in this motherfucker world. You think we give a fuck about somebody teasing you and calling you a booty scratcher? These motherfuckers better go get some counseling. Counseling. Because look how angry that girl was. And for
somebody type Samuel L. Jackson in the chat room. Somebody type Samuel L. in the chat room. Okay, and a big shout out to Knight Phoenix for being the first person to contribute to the super chat. Remember, if you learn something, I should earn something. But please type Samuel L. in the chat room.
What? And for what? Now she's sitting up there, got to wonder where her next check coming from. Because she sure ain't getting no unemployment. Yeah, you know. Or she's sitting up kissing these white folks' ass. I bet you it was a white person that called her, told her they was going to let her ass go. And when she go up here to this motherfucking unemployment office, there's going to be a white motherfucker that tell her ass.
Somebody type Samuel L. in the chat room. You know Samuel L. Jackson has made over $1 million just saying the word MFer, okay? So he's capitalized on that, all right? But we'll let her keep going.
Ooh, it's been a good Black History Month, hasn't it? Well, at least something came about this motherfucker.
Samuel L.
They sure ain't did nothing.
Okay, all right. So, you know, we have our way of, I mean, you know, you just out here threatening foundational Black Americans. You don't know how well we're connected. Somebody saw that and said, no, you got to go. You can't be over here threatening us like that. That is not even, who does that? You know, but it lets you know the psychology of a person like that. You can't have what you want. Now, you told us we weren't African. And then when we said, okay, we're not African, now you're angry and you're so mad that you want to go full, you want to strap Osama bin Laden to your chest and go where we are and go do some straight up 9/11 type action. That lets us know this is you. This is your culture. This is that dominant, superior culture you talk about. Now, the truth is it's about resources. The reason they have a problem with us, shout out to Canary Valens, the reason that Africans have a problem with us delineating, because if we're no longer African American, they can't claim the African American benefits that we will receive just by them hiding amongst us. Now, this is a content creator that I follow on Instagram, and she has a lot to say about this. I mentioned this the other day. There's a program in Illinois where Africans are trying to get African Americans to submit to DNA tests so that they can link up with African relatives in Africa. And in doing so, they will be able to use that and further this Region 6 thing by the African. I'm thinking it has to do with the reparations. They're trying to show, hey, no, there are real Africans amongst the foundational Black American group. Just give us the reparations. Just give it to the African folk over here. Let those African kings and queens who initially sold us into slavery, let them get some more money. So let's let the sister cook.
Shit right here. Okay. What is going to be happening is continental Africans who are already here in America call themselves African American without any proof of that. They will be testing these continental Africans pretending to be African Americans and tracing their ancestry back to their relatives who they left on the continent and claiming that they are us. As I stated, they will be giving out DNA kits in indigenous community in Chicago, Illinois, and will be paying people to test. You have to be 18 years old, submit an ID that you are residents of Chicago, but no documentation of your heritage, that you are indeed an original Black American. So they're going to be using continental Africans, tracing them back to the continent, back to their ancestors, to their cousins, brothers, mothers, and then come out a report saying, oh, look, African Americans have relatives back on the continent. Yeah, the fuck they do, because they're Africans. They're first, second generation Africans pretending to be Black Americans.
You are not an African.
Right.
Okay? Look.
All right. So do you all hear that? You hear that scammy behavior that's going on? So, you know, basically they're coming up with a program so that they can try to figure out how they can continue hiding, or as they say, tethering amongst us. And if we're stupid enough to let that happen, then that's our fault. Now, I want you all to recall something. You remember about 3-4 years ago, every year, sometimes twice a year, for the past 6 years, I've been saying Africans owe us money for reparations. I've been saying that, yeah, I understand that the U.S. government and those insurance companies and those European countries owe us money. But I've also said Africans owe us money. And I've been saying it for the past 6 years. Because for about the past 10 or 15 years, I've been watching the trends, and I recognize that there's a burgeoning conflict, or was a burgeoning conflict between Black Americans and foundational Black Americans and Africans. And it had a lot to do with the fact that they like getting in our business, and they're so opposed to reparations. And my thing was, okay, well, if you don't want the white man to pay us reparations, then we'll let the African man pay us reparations, and that is your reward for getting in our business. I developed a whole broadcast. I came up with a proposed executive order, and most of you folk were so angry with me. Just as recently as last year, you all were so angry with me, but now, all of a sudden, old Dennis Spurling must have been on to something, and I see so many other people saying Africans owe us reparations. Now, if you are interested in that, and if you would like to help push that, you can email me at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. That is spurlingdennis@gmail.com. I'm going to say it one more time. You can email me at spurlingdennis@gmail.com, and we can get a committee together, and we can get an online petition to see if we can get an executive order. I already have the draft of the executive order prepared. I've sent it to Donald Trump and several congressmen. Of course, I didn't get anything in response, but if we can get 1 million people to sign a petition, probably maybe 10,000, 50,000, then we can start the process of at least investigating how it can go about. So I say that now because, see, look, they're trying to get our reparations. They literally want the U.S. government to pay them reparations for us. And I'm saying, oh no, you all owe us reparations. How can the crook that stole turn around and sue the person who I mean, you got two crooks. Now you got two crooks. One sold us to another crook. And that crook took us over here and had us working for free for hundreds of years. And now the first crook who sold wants to sue the second crook, but here we are, the people that were stolen in the land that we would have had in Africa, that value, okay? Because the land is still there. And I'll talk about this a little bit more. But other than that, y'all just be wary of that. Now, I want you to hear some more of the things that these people say, all right? And we just getting warmed up. This is one that I hear all the time, okay? Y'all hit the number 1 button.
All African countries, will you accept black people who openly stated that they have nothing to do with the African lineage? They're not from Africa, and they want nothing to do with Africa.
This is clearly an African brother. I believe he is a truck driver. And he's basically addressing the fact that we have a lot of foundational Black Americans who are saying we're not African. Well, the thing is, Africa has told us we're not Africans. They tell us all the time we're not Africans. So now you're saying, I mean, now the brothers on here saying, well, would Africa accept African Americans back? Who told you we were leaving? Why would we leave? What's the point of leaving? What would make you think we would want to leave the United States to go to Africa? We're not going to go to Africa if we leave the United States. Not the majority of it. We're going to stay right here. We've been here. We don't flee. We don't go to other people's countries because things are too hard. We don't have that sort of culture. We don't do that. We stay and fight. And that's something that's unfathomable. It's unfathomable. They can't believe it. That's something that other people can't believe, especially people who are used to leaving their country. We don't run, we fight. But I'm gonna let this man finish.
Would you accept them back? What? You know what I'm saying? Because you see we're living in some Trumpian Miller times.
Trump don't bother us. Even the black people that voted for Kamala Harris are not worried about Trump. We going about our business. See, this is what they don't understand. Trump is just another white man doing what white men been doing in this country for hundreds of years. He doesn't bother us. You act like this is Reagan. Do you not know who Ronald Reagan is? Do you not know who Woodrow Wilson is? Do you not know do you know that they flooded the black community with dope? Did you not know what Bill Clinton did, the 3 strikes laws? People were just disappearing. Are you kidding me? You think Trump is bad because he's rounding up some Mexicans and foreigners that's not supposed to be here? That's not bothering us. That bothers you all. We don't have that experience. We're Americans. We're generational Americans. We're native black Americans. We're foundational black Americans. We're the Solon people. None of that bothers us. Why would we run back to Africa somewhere where we have no ties to? And you all fled from there. What makes you think that we would think about it? That is not something we're going to do.
We're living in Donald Trump days and some Stephen Miller days. And obviously they don't want black people in America.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't want, look, sir, you're not our kind of black. You're a foreigner. You're an immigrant. Okay? And we don't care if they don't want us here. Most of our ancestors were here before their ancestors got here. Donald Trump's first American ancestor was his grandfather. That only goes back about 100 years. We have ancestors that go back 300 years, 400 years. That's not our experience. We are fully American.
You're slowly turning the rich. But we see what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is to get rid of
you need to pay attention to what you're doing. That's what you need to do. You out here driving the truck. That's what you need to focus on, paying attention to what you're doing, sir. Okay, that's what you need.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they're working on. And they're slowly doing it trickle by trickle. But that's the goal. So the question came to me, I'd be like, you know what? This is something I need to know. Will African countries, tribes, cultures, and African people be open arms about accepting black people who decide to come back to Africa?
All right, so you all probably know this sister right here. First of all, we're not going back to Africa, sir. That's not our homeland. That's our ancient homeland, but that's not our homeland. We'll go visit. But, that's just not somewhere we go. That's not something that's not what we're doing, okay? We're not going to do it. I mean, look, this passport bro movement has been going for 7 years, and I've yet to see anybody say, yeah, I just go to Africa. We go to the Dominican Republic. They go to Colombia. They go to Brazil. Brazil has more black people outside of Africa than any other continent. Why wouldn't we go to Brazil? You understand? Shout out to Jelona Taborn. That ain't us. But again, here's the thing I need y'all to understand. And I give the pretendians a hard time. Shout out to all the people who still claiming Cherokee after that blistering broadcast that I gave the other night. I understand people's psychology. We don't want to be associated with Africa. Now, some of you all say, well, it's just because we live, you think you've been propaganda. No, you all have a lot of wars and famine over there. And even if you have some nice buildings and some nice houses, you still have a lot of other issues. And so what you have is a lot of black people who will say, oh, I'm Native American, or I have Indian. This because we don't want to be associated with Africa. And I don't like that psychological hurdle that our people are trying to face, trying to use because they don't want to be associated with Africa. But there's reasons why. There's reasons why, and you all aren't helping it. I'm gonna let you listen to this, and you can hear for yourself.
Native American, so I got just a little Indian.
Now this is Gates. This is Dr. Gates, and basically this is a group of wealthy black people who've been told that they're part Indian, and they're having to come to the realization that the vast majority of black people, and I'm talking about high 90%, have absolutely no Native American DNA. And I know that's hard to hear. I know your grandma told you was a Cherokee, but she was probably a slave on the Cherokee plantation. Okay, and they had constitutional laws forbidding interracial marriage, and if you in mating and coupling, and if you did, and your children came about after that, those children were not allowed to inherit. So it was dissuaded. Now, by contrast, those same Native American people had in their contract, they actually promoted their citizens to mate and marry white people. That's why you have all these Indians, you call them $5 Indians, but that happened on purpose. It wasn't forced. They purposely sought out white European people to mate with because they felt like they were superior. Now, you don't have to like what I'm saying, but you can look up Joseph Van, Rich Joe Van, and you can look up the Black Cherokee slave revolt, where our people, 20 to 40 of our people, ran up out of Oklahoma because they got tired of living on those plantations. We built the reservations. They walked us along the Trail of Tears. 10 to 20% of us walked along the Trail of Tears. And not only were we walking and crying, but we had to work for that 1,000 miles because we were the slaves. Now, I'm going to embrace that, okay? Now, I don't run from, but let's go ahead and go through this excruciating. This is why we're trying to separate. This is some of the extents that we go. So it's not one way, okay? It's not just them saying y'all are not us. We saying we not y'all either. But we're going to deal with that, okay?
Wow.
And I'm 3% Native American, so I got just a little Indian.
You got a little Indian in you. 0% Native American. And 0% Native American. There you go. And 0% who were Native American.
We're gonna have to tell the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma now. I misrepresented myself. I'm not Choctaw at all. You know?
No. And you'll see there's no figure for Native American because you ain't got no Native American.
None.
Set the record straight.
Even Don Cheadle, your ancestors were enslaved by Native Americans. Here's your great-great-grandmother.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Mary Kemp, her 11 children, including Bill Cheadle, your great-grandfather William. And you can see William's father, Henderson, or Hance Cheadle. You are one of the few African Americans who was not enslaved by white people, but enslaved by Native Americans.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Previous video, I spoke about how Native Americans also enslaved black people. Their participation in this atrocity reportedly began in the late 1700s and intensified in the early 1800s. Members of the 5 so-called civilized tribes used enslaved black men and women as domestic and agricultural workers. For example,
Now, again, we don't like to deal with that slave history. We don't like to. So we say, oh, no, we're a Native American because it feels to some of us less painful to say that. But the truth is the truth. It was a brutal institution, and a vast majority of us were subject to it. Now, what I'm trying to say here is the whole point that we do that is because we don't want to be associated with Africans. And at this point, it's for good reasons. Y'all don't want to be associated with us either. Now, I'm going to let y'all hear some other things that we don't like, okay? Oftentimes, Africans like to get in our business, and here's an example of it.
Because I want reparations, you call it ignorant?
No, because you don't.
What makes you think you have a right to my birthright? Why are you even talking to me about it?
Now, for you all who hadn't figured it out, this is a foundational black American brother addressing an African immigrant who's come over here and decided to interject himself into the conversation of whether or not foundational black Americans are entitled to reparations. And this is not a conversation that we have. We don't go to your country and telling you to get in your business. Although today I'm going to get all in your business when I get going. I'm going to tell you about your own countries And when I finish, everybody in this chat room is going to understand why you all need to mind your own black business and stay out of ours, because you have far more issues than we have. But I'm going to let this brother cook.
Why do you feel like I can't talk to you about it?
Because you really have no claim to it. So if you're not contributing to the conversation and you're not helping and you're downing me, you should really shut the fuck up.
Because I'm African, I don't have a claim to it.
What you mean? You don't?
No, you don't.
It's called American Descendants of Slaves, my G.
I was born in Texas.
My G, it's called American Descendants of Slaves.
Yes.
Your parents are not American descendants of slaves.
Hello?
Your parents are from Africa, correct?
Yes.
That means you have they didn't pick no cotton here. They wasn't brought over here in fucking slavery. They just got over here in fucking last generation. What the fuck are you talking about? You just gonna turn this into whatever the fuck you want to? Why are you trying to disrespect my birthright?
So allow me to respond.
Now watch this BS response.
People you're talking about, a large part of them were African.
Okay.
And they had children who are descendants of those Africans.
American descendants.
All right, so basically what he just said was, what his counter argument was, well, even though you're an American descendant of slaves, the people who were stolen or sold by Africans and brought to America, their children went. And it wasn't just the children. Some people lost fathers, some people lost sons, some people lost mothers. They lost all sorts of relatives. But the bottom line is lineage inherits down. If there's a child present, if there's a someone downstream, they inherit. It doesn't go up and it doesn't go sideways. In other words, it goes north to south so your parents will pass down to their children and their children to their children. So he's trying this argument which wouldn't even work. That's not how inheritance works. On top of that, Africans participated in the slave trade. They literally benefited. The nations did. And there's something called successor state liability. So whether it was a kingdom, a territory, or a country, you inherit the land, you inherit the debts that go with that land. And one of those debts that Africa owes foundational Black Americans is reparations in the form of whatever value you have, whether it's something that comes out of the land, or the monetary value of the land. That's the narrow issue I want to deal with, but I'm gonna let the brother keep cooking.
Of slaves. Are you dumb? Do you understand the word American slavery here?
Absolutely.
Are you stupid now? Have you lost a fucking noggin?
Okay. So the sister says, well, they sold their enemies. Okay, Miss Kitty Cat, if they sold their enemies, then we're their enemies. Would you like to be brotherly and sisterly with somebody who sold you as an enemy? I mean, okay, we're not the same people, right? They've already established that. And now you're saying they sold their enemies who were at war. Okay, I accept that. So they shouldn't be trying to get our reparations, right? They shouldn't be over here trying to get our benefits, right? If we're their enemies, I want them to pick a side and stay on it. That's what I want. But thank you so much for your input. Let's go to somebody else. And you guys may know this lady.
You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best.
So Big J says, I'm lying. It was only a small percentage of Africans that came to America. Okay, Big J, what percentage of Africans came to America? Okay, I'll tell you. Well, I'll give you actual numbers, between 300 to 400,000. And the reason that we know that is because in 1808, there was a census. Now, from 1808 to 1861, they took another poll. It was 4 million. So we had about 400,000 Africans in 1808. And then we had, by the time we got to the cusp of the Civil War, it was 4 million. What happened? What happened? Huh? What happened? There's something called breeding farms that happened. Nevertheless, all those people of African descent were enslaved. Well, not everyone was enslaved, but the bottom line is That's where we started. There were breeding farms in Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, and so many other places. But breeding was big business. Black women had 5, 6, 7, 8 children. That was normal. So you have to understand where you are. Okay, I've been doing this and talking about this subject for 5 or 6 years straight. I understand that the entire legal system that we have, whether we're talking about property law, tort law, farming, business, Wall Street, is based on the purchase, sale, and productivity of black bodies. We literally got this country going. We got it rolling. Okay, it was on our backs and in our sweat and our labor and our blood. So what you're talking about is just a fantasy. I'm going to put you in the pretendian category. You don't want to hear the fact that we were slaves. But what you're going to have to do on this page is you're going to have to grow up and you're going to have to accept the fact that it's ugly. It is what it is. I'm proud of what my ancestors been through. It made me tougher. It made me harder. It gave us a story. It's the reason why we have all this soul. Okay, because see, if you were just a Native American, brother, you wouldn't be able to run. Our people wouldn't be running as fast. They wouldn't be as brilliant. We wouldn't be who we are. All these great inventions that we have here in the United States came here after foundational black Americans went through their ethnogenesis and showed up. And I don't give anybody else credit for that. Stop trying to take credit from what we do because you don't know what you're doing. All you're doing is just bringing confusion. Let's continue.
Effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much. I think people will finally get it. Jay said I was referring to the guy on the video. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you clarifying that. But there are also people who, they feel as though that, they don't want to admit the fact that that's not where we're from. Now I'm going to deal with a couple of these arguments. Y'all hit the number 1 button.
Spun 600 years ago. You would have seen
Black people sold each other as slaves first, and the Europeans just came and exploited that. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, there is.
Black people sold each other as slaves first. Europeans just came and picked up. The truth is, the Arab slave trade was going on. Okay? Let's understand that the Arabs were selling each other, and a lot of those Muslim Arabs participated. Those black, did we just talk about that? Remember I told you I build from one broadcast to the next? See, no, it was the Arab slave trade that pre-existed the transatlantic slave trade by 1,300 years. So yes, we were selling each other into slavery. The slave markets had already been set up. White folk just pulled up and picked up their own batch. Okay? Are you all learning something? Let's keep going.
But it's spun 600 years ago. You would have seen yourself as belonging to your country. I would have seen myself as belonging to my country. And battles take place, like battles would take place in Europe. And whoever gets captured is going to end up prisoners of war. That's not unusual. But the way it's presented is deny that you even had a country, deny that I had a country. So we're now all one group of people called black people. So if we're now battling, well, why are you black people even fighting? You're supposed to be one people. The evolution of slavery, it begins in 1441. Kidnapping is how it began. It was the Portuguese that they realized that they could build slave dungeons. The local ruler on the Ghanaian coast, Kwame Ansa, he was told this was going to be a trading center for goods. He opposed it, but the Portuguese burned his village down. So that's how they were able to build slave dungeons. And then once you now...
So they burned one village down, and so you let them stay for the next 500 years. See, what this gentleman is not telling you, again, they had something called the transatlantic, the trans-Saharan slave trade. So slavery was still going on in Africa while this was going on. The Portuguese said, hey, well, we'll try to. Okay, we're going to get into it, but the Arabs were already there. Okay, and there were many Muslim Arabs, Muslim black people who participated in the slave trade. So let's not try to just cut. It's like trying to cut a little piece and look at it without looking at what happened before and what happened afterwards. Matter of fact, slavery is still ongoing in Africa today. Okay, so let's not forget this, and the fact that you said they looked at each other as different people. You all look at us as a different people now. You look at us as a different people now, and we want you to keep that same energy when it's time for us to reap the benefits of our time in existence here. We're talking about legal claims related to reparations and civil rights and whatever other minority set-asides or black set-asides. You're not going to keep taking our things that were set up for us. That's the whole point of delineation, but we'll let these gentlemen finish.
Now have that, you can now pull even more people out by encouraging battle. One group of Europeans arms your side, another group arms your side, and whoever gets captured is going to end up prisoners of war. And it's only now, when some of your people and your people are on the same slave ship, that you realize that's what they were.
So basically what you said, y'all full of conflict, and some outsiders came in and exploited the fact that you all like to beef anyway. All we got to do is give them some gun and some liquor, and they'll shoot each other. That's basically what you're saying. So whose fault is that? I mean, whose fault is that? If your country, if your culture is so easily manipulated that all they have to do is give you some gun and make some promises to you, you go kill each other and sell yourselves or sell your enemies to some foreigners to take wherever, that means your culture is already divisive. It means your culture is full of conflict and beef already.
Right. And that's why black people that ended up on slave ships and ended up being sent to North America, South America, Central America, the Caribbean, those were the first to realize we've all been played. That's why these were the first people to become Pan-Africanists.
Okay. Now we got a fella named Boom, man. Why is FBA, we can call, it's not Tariq Nasheed's fault. He said this mess with FBA is all Tariq's fault. It makes me sad. Okay, well, brother, how about we just call ourselves the American Negro? Somebody type Negro in the chat room. We can go back to being Negro. Would that make you less upset? How about we go back to being freedmen? Is that okay? Because it denotes the same thing as people who can trace their lineage back to heritage. There was a time when Black American meant people who can trace their heritage back to slavery. There was a time when the word colored meant the same thing, or when African American. Okay, so why is it this foundational, this FBA term upsets you? Again, let's go be Negroes. Hell, we could be Bowman. We'll be Bowman. Bowman is a good word. That's your name at Bowman. We'll be Bowman. And it'll just simply denote that we can trace our heritage back to slavery here in the United States, if that's what you choose. Let's not be upset with Tariq Nasheed for giving us a word, because before him, there was a gentleman named Dr. Claude Anderson who referred to us as Native Black Americans. And they referred to Africans from the continent as continental African Americans. You understand what I'm saying? So again, if the Puerto Ricans can whip their flag up, Latina girl, if the Venezuelans can put their flag up, if the Mexicans can put their flag up, even though they don't want to get deported back to Mexico, why is it that Black Americans can't put our flag up? Why is it that you all don't ask Jamaicans where they're from? Why don't you tell them they're African? You say, oh yeah, you're Jamaican. I don't understand that. Why does everybody have a problem with Black Americans delineating? Somebody say, Somebody say, Okay, let's go ahead and proceed to the next video.
Nigeria and South Africa could have not.
Like, in all case scenarios, Africa is a fucking traitor. Yeah, the entire continent.
The education theory strikes again.
Because they didn't teach you Nigeria sold you out. They didn't teach you South Africa sold you out. Nigga.
Nigeria and South Africa could have not sold their own people because South Africa and Nigeria were non-existent during that time.
Okay, South Africa and Nigeria weren't in existence, but the tribes. See, Africa didn't have the borders that it has now. It wasn't until Europeans got together and carved it up. They carved up all the little tribes. There used to be swaths of land with different so-called tribes and kingdoms. So they cut them up to make them less powerful. But the bottom line is the land still exists, and those people who were in charge are still there. and therefore they are still responsible. So what the sister is referring to is the people that occupy the land of Nigeria and the people who occupy the neighboring places is still the same culture. They still reap the same benefit of the land that was taken from our ancestors when we were stolen and moved off the land. That's what she's saying. You're trying to split hairs and say, well, Nigeria didn't exist. Yeah, well, you know what? America didn't exist until 1776, but we still want reparations for that time period before the country exists. Who was responsible? England, insurance companies? This is what these folk do. You keep moving the goalposts.
In America, we were taught Africa sold us.
Almost all of the countries in Africa were formed after the Berlin Conference that happened in 1884 to 1885. So during this time, there was no specific country. There was only like cities and kingdoms, which were also run by people who did not know.
They were called city-states. But go ahead.
Know how to speak English or write it.
But they could speak Portuguese because there was a king now called Alfonso I, and he was educated in Portugal. He sent his children there. They've adopted Portuguese names. The first black man to own a slave was from the Congo. His name was Antonio, and he changed his name to Anthony Johnson. So even though you couldn't read English, you could read Portuguese. And you had Portuguese emissaries there and all sorts of stuff. And you had all kinds of people there who could translate. What you wanted was the guns and the tobacco. You wanted to have a one-up on your adversaries because what you all did a lot was conflict. That's all you did. You've been fighting each other all those times. Go ahead.
So when most of them were handed a piece of paper and told that after signing it, they were literally going to get rich, no one was around to read or translate it.
They
so
couldn't read.
Most of them signed it.
I want you to understand that they said that black people nobody on the whole continent could read. That's what you're saying. They just signed it.
And even after the realizations kicked in, the situation did not get any better because there was no specific language to unite Africans, in which formation of these languages took a lot of time.
They say all these languages that Africans had, they couldn't unite. About 10, 20 per state. You telling me that none of those languages, nobody could communicate? How was y'all having sex? How were y'all having sex? Since you couldn't communicate. I'm just asking. There's no way to communicate. But babies kept coming. Somebody was talking to somebody. And I hate to reduce it down to that, but let's just go ahead. You saying nobody could talk. Well, it looked like the white man was having sex with those women. They couldn't have a conversation after they finished with they kufu. They got their little, after they finished eating, they couldn't talk then. Hey, we don't want to sign that contract and give you access to 50,000 of our black people and make them slaves. We don't want that. There was no talking going on. You don't think, so how did they communicate in the first place? So you're going to plead ignorance. Somebody type the plea of ignorance.
And also there was no interlinking transportational systems to unite Africa. And even after some Africans were educated, they were bribed and taken to European countries. That they did not spread the knowledge they had acquired. So you might actually be a descendant of the people you actually hate.
And in all cases,
so you saying they didn't have any mode of transportation. So how did they get from one side of Africa to the other? The camels didn't work? With no walking going on? I'm just saying, I'm just asking questions. There's a lot of plea copping going in here. Okay, a lot of throwing yourself on the mercy of the court.
Scenarios, why the fuck would I venerate ancestors or connect myself to ancestors that sold their fucking children for profit? Are y'all fucking slow? I think so.
Okay. Now, you heard what she said. Why would I celebrate ancestors who sold their children into slavery? So the sister, the foundational Black American sister, says, hey, we were your people. And you traded on it. You're traitors. We were your people. And you sold your own children into slavery. Now, I want you to hear his response. And when you hear him say, hey, we weren't the same people, I want you to say, keep that same energy for reparations, okay?
Totally unrelated, but I like the fact that you keep on using only one phrase, almost like you heard it when someone else used it, and you are spamming it, thinking that you're going to sound educated.
I don't care who the fuck don't like me, I'm never gonna be nice about it.
No one is going to hate you, but a lot of people are going to think that you are uneducated. And
Yeah. I think that you are uneducated. That's what I think. I think you are making up reasons. That's what I think. And I see that a lot. Okay? Because again, what happened was we decided to go ahead and do what they did, and that's delineate. Now, before we get going a little, I need y'all to subscribe to the channel because we're about to get deep into this lesson, and I think it's necessary. Okay, they love to get off in our business. So I'm gonna get in their business tonight. Somebody type messy in the chat room. I'm about to get real messy tonight because they love to, they say you point a finger at somebody, 3 get pointed back at you. I'm about to get deep into their business tonight, and they're not gonna like it today. All right, they're not gonna like it today, but I need you all to subscribe to the channel so that I can get to where I'm trying to get. Okay, shout out to Red Signal. Thank you so much, family. I appreciate you. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I need y'all to take the time right now, hallelujah, and subscribe to the channel right now, okay? I need you all to do that right now, all right? Matter of fact, if I get another 200 subscribers, I'll be at 94,000. So that's 700 people. I need y'all to somebody type messy in the chat room. It's about to get messy. So I'm gonna let y'all do that. I know y'all will take care of me. I'm not asking much. And of course, as I always say, if you learn something, I should earn something. But here's the thing I want y'all, and I'm talking calm. See how I'm not upset? See, I got this fresh new haircut, so I'm feeling good. You understand me? I'm feeling good. Somebody type good in the chat room. I'm feeling good. You're not rushing. When you're looking good, you don't need to rush, okay? But anyway, 50 years. Africa's been a battlefield of power and territory and survival. 50 years. And I'm going to walk you through every major war one by one for the past 50 years, okay? All you Negroes, everybody that don't want to be an FBA, we just gonna call you Negroes. Shout out to the one and only. You want to be a Negro? We can be a Negro. We'll do that again if it means it's giving us our money, our reparation. We're gonna be Negroes again. Since you don't like FBA, that's divisive. We'll just be Negroes. And anybody who don't want to be a Negro, that's good. We could be freedmen too. Okay, but it denotes the same thing. Now, Africa. Okay? They've just had wars everywhere. They had the Western Sahara War, okay, from 1975 to 1991. Some of y'all were born and in high school and went through all your school before that war ended. This is between Morocco and a place called Polisario, okay? It was about independence and annexation. They say anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people died. 10 to 20,000. Chad and Libya. That's 1978 to 1987. These are long wars. It was about a border, right? And who had influence over a little piece of land. Thousands of people died. Algerian War. And I'm just getting warmed up. These are the northern parts where the Arabs are. They were fighting because the elections got canceled. You understand? And the Muslims were blocked for power. 150,000 people died between 1992 and 2002. Those were some good years for me. Good years for me. I was in school and people were dying in Africa. The Libyan War, 2011, was an uprising. 10 to 30,000 people died. They just wanted a regime change. They didn't like the government. They didn't want to vote for it. And for you all who say, oh, well, the government did it. If it's that easy for the American government to get y'all sparked up and fighting each other, that's your fault. Okay? Right, now let's go down to North Africa. Let's go to Northeast Africa. Sudan, where that guy with the high IQ is from. What do y'all call him? The dude with the fresh and fit. Sudan. From 1983 to 2005, it was the North versus the South. It was about power, it was about religion, it was about identity. 2 million people died. That's why he came over here. Fled Sudan. That's the second Sudan war. Okay? Second one. 50-year time period from 1983 to 2005. That's a long time. The Darfur War. Have y'all heard of Darfur? Shout out to Kenneth Rogers. It's going on right now. It hit its peak between 2003 and 2008. It's 2026 and it's going on now, 23 years. Anywhere, it's about rebellion. It's over land. Somebody got their feelings hurt. They feel marginalized. 200 to 300,000 bodies. Do you know how many people that is? They had another war, South Sudan, 2013 to 2018. It was a struggle, internal struggle. They can't get along with each other. Somebody type can't get along. 383,000 people unalive. Another Sudan war. You got 2 military facts. This is from 2023. They just got this one started. Tens of thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people have died. The Horn of Africa, okay? So we went from the north, all right, then we went to the southeast. We just working our way around, basically clockwise in Africa. Whether you're Arab or Black African, whatever. Somalia versus Ethiopia, 20,000 people died. This is 1977 to 1978. That's when they started coming over here. Eritrea, War of Independence. It's in the final phase in 1991. Killed tens of thousands of people. They were fighting with Ethiopia. This is those superior cultures. They can't get along. 1991 to right now, the Somali Civil War. They got a civil war that's been going on since 1991. They said that it's been over 3 decades, 500,000 people. You see why these people are fleeing? The Djibouti War, 1991 and 94. We had some good music back there. They over there fighting and killing each other. They were rebelling because they wanted representation. They wanted some congressmen. So they said, we just gonna kill people. There's a war between Ethiopia and Eritrea from 98 to 2000. 70 to 100,000 people. That's just over a border. It could have been something as simple as the river changed and they went 70,000 to 100,000 people had to die over there. Same thing with Ethiopia, internal wars from 2020 to 2022, federal government versus some reach. So the president and the mayor was fighting and 160,000 to 300,000 people died. And then you got Kenya versus Al-Shabaab, a spillover from 2011. Just people coming to other people's land fighting. I mean, let's go to West Africa. From 1989 to 2003, warlords, random dudes with guns, fighting for control. 150 to 250,000. I mean, these people fight like it's a video game. That's Liberia. Okay, shout out to Zuck. Thank you. Sierra Leone, 1991 to 2002. They were fighting over diamonds and power and brutality. And think of 50,000 people died and now everybody's buying these lab-grown diamonds. I want you to think about that. They got another one, Guinea-Bissau, the Civil War from 98 to 99. Look how long these wars are lasting. The military decided they were going to fight each other. It's a political crisis. About 2,000 people died. These are not big countries. The Casments conflict from 1982 to now. You see how many years this is? This is in Senegal. Thousands of people. You understand? Thousands of people. You got a war going on with the Tariq and the rebellion and the people in Mali. I mean, all y'all want to go over to Africa and everything, and, you know, it's a lot going on over there. Okay? But in that war, tens of thousands of people died. The Sahel insurgencies, 2020 right now, militant networks exploiting weak states, 30,000 people died. Boko Haram, y'all have heard of that? They call it an insurgency. From 2009, what's going on is you have this extremist campaign across Nigeria and its neighbors. 30,000 civilians have been killed, not military, okay? 30,000. And in Central Africa, Angola, it was a war over oil and diamonds, 500 to 800,000. Chad, okay, from 2005 to 2010, thousands killed. Uganda, Tanzania, from 1978 to 1979, 10 to 40,000. Ugandan more, beef in Uganda, 100,000 people killed from 1980 to 2000. These wars go on. Rwanda, the Civil War in Rwanda, 1990, 1994, 800,000. Burundi, Civil War, 300,000. It was about ethnic conflict. In other words, You not my type of black, so I'm gonna unalive you. And y'all want to take y'all butts over there? Y'all don't have anywhere to fit in. All my FBA people, you can go over there and stay if you want to. You'll be getting ethnically cleansed in about 50 or 60 years, because this place is filled with Africa. Africa's filled with conflict. First Congo, 10,000. Second Congo, another 5 million. So from 1996 to 1997, 10,000 people were killed in the Congo because of some regional rebellion. And then from 1998 to 2003, that's 5 years. They say up to 5 million. That's 1 million a year. You understand? And it goes on and on. Central African Republic, Cameroon, people just died. South Africa, the Rhodesian Bush War, 20,000. South African border, 10,000 in 1989. Mozambique Civil War, 1 million. Lesotho, which is basically more South African, 1990, dozens to hundreds, thousands killed. Now, again, let's step back, because, you can understand the scale of the numbers we're talking about if I run it like this. In just 50 years, not 75 years, not 100 years, just 50 years, the wars we listed add up to 11.8 million dead people. And that's a conservative number. Okay? That's a conservative floor. Rounded, look, plainly, that's basically 12 million people. Lives lost over a century in Africa. Now, I want you to compare that to the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? The transatlantic slave trade lasted 366 years from the 1500s until the 1867. And about 12.5 million Africans were forced on the ships during those periods. Okay? And of course, around 10.7 million survived, and most of them went to South America, Central America, the Caribbean, and Mexico. All right? So between 1.5 and 2 million died during the Middle Passage. But I want you to look at these numbers. Okay? I want you to let that sink in. In 50 years, in these modern African conflicts, the death toll is maybe 1 million off the transatlantic slave trade. In other words, if 11 million people died in these wars, okay, and 12 million people died in the transatlantic slave trade. Can you imagine that? I want y'all to understand that. Do you understand how serious? They are just unaliving each other. Shout out to Zuck. I want you to ask yourself a simple question. Why did they die? Why did all these people die over 50 years? 12 million lives. Why? Did they die saving the world? Did they die protecting children from monsters or defending women from foreign invaders? Did space aliens come from outer space and kill them? Nope. That's not what happened. Most of them died because people in power wanted more control. The people out of power wanted power. They died because one leader wanted to be the president this time. They died because a general wanted to be in control of an army. They died because warlords wanted to take over the capital. They got put out the club by the bouncer. They wanted to come back and wage war for 10 years. They did it because they wanted oil fields. They did it because rebel groups wanted diamonds. They did it because politicians refused to get out of office or share power. You understand? They did it because once the state broke down and armed men with guns took over the neighborhoods and villages, they did what they want. They did it for land, they did it for money, they did it for power, but none of it was heroic. None of it was a noble cause. It wasn't a united stand against some outside alien force. It was black Africans and Africans in general struggling over power and greed and weak institutions. This is what they did. If they don't get what they want, they picking up guns. You see? They don't trust their own elections, they picking up guns. When the army becomes political, they pick up guns. When the guns become the way to settle arguments, ordinary people pay the price. Farmers, mothers, children, grandparents, not the people at the top, people at the bottom. And that's why they died. not because of destiny, not because of fate, but because one tribe because wanted power and they thought they were more important than the rest. Now, I got a couple of videos so you all can see what you saw. You can see it for yourself. You guys hit the number 1 button. Let's review these videos right now. And you guys tell me what you think, okay? We got live action. And okay, hit the number 1 button. Fair use.
People come here to come and kill the people they do work in farm. They kill the people on 200 people. They are kill her.
Now I want you all to know this is going on right now in West Africa. Fulani, Hausa people. This is in Nigeria. This is what's going on in the motherland right now. This is what they're fleeing from right now. That's why they want to leave the country right now. That's why they're here. Okay, let's keep listening.
In Ganawuri, on any language, and they kill her. And Fulani should not kill her. My house, they follow that.
You just keep saying.
They burn my.
Man is also a citizen of this country, and he has a right to live in every part of the country. No more leave our land. No more this is our land. We have a right to live in every part of the country. We also have a right.
Now, what they're saying is that the Fulani people have a right to live anywhere they want to. I gather, okay, because I don't get in other people's business, but since you all like to get in our business, I gather the Fulani people actually came from the east part of Africa as migrants. And they started in North Africa and they got pushed down further and further as a result of the Arab invasion, which we spoke about the other day, the caliphate. Remember we talked about that? And so these Africans, and they look pretty black to me. He looks pretty black. But these Africans, they don't like, they have cattle and they want the cattle to graze, so they don't respect other people's boundaries. And because of that, they've been beefing. So these are the Fulani people, okay?
To do any business that not against the rules and regulations of the country. So we are a citizen. We have a right to live in every part of the country. No more leave our land. No more this is our land. Zam.
That's what he said. He heard it. He said it with his chest. Let's keep on going. Okay.
This Burkina Fulani girl in Ghana is complaining that the Ghana Security Service are deleting their cattle. Now, before I answer her, let me say this. I don't care if this...
They're deleting who? What are they deleting? Did y'all hear the word they're deleting? They're deleting the what?
I don't care. Fulanis are not indigenous to Ghana.
Okay, hold on. What did he say? Who are they deleting? Can somebody say that again?
The Ghana Security Service are deleting their cattle.
They're deleting the Akatas. So you call the Fulani people the Akatas because they have no homeland. They're stray cats. So the people who are unalive, you call us Akatas too. So it's meant to be an insult. Is that what you're saying? Insight. Somebody type insight in the chat room. Talking about we learning.
Now, before I answer her, let me say this. I don't care if this will make you dislike me. I don't care. Fulanis are not indigenous to Ghana. Fulanis are not indigenous to the Ghanaian land. You guys are from Burkina. You guys are from Somalia. You guys are not Ghanaians. Stop forcing it. You never ever be Ghanaians. Stop being delusional Fulanis. That's why the fact that they accepted you here does not mean that you are a Ghanaian. You will never be indigenous. It's that simple. So some cattle went astray.
You'll never be indigenous. You're not from here. Well, why do y'all come over here and tell us that this is y'all are Black Americans and African Americans? If you saying the same thing about the Akatas in your country, aren't you all Akatas? If you come to my country and you're fleeing your country and you're not from this country, this is my home. So who's the Akata? If you call the Fulani people Akatas, because they've invaded Nigeria and that's not their homeland, then when you come from Nigeria to the United States and this is my homeland and I can prove it, then that means you're the Akata. You're the stray cat. You're the cat without a home. But go ahead and continue. Thanks. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Yeah, you're the Akata. You're the one without a home.
And the Ghana Security Service went ahead, surrounded them, and deleted all of them. Now, I'm not surprised this happened because they were warned. Stray cows will be slaughtered, fed to prisoners. Ghana mayor wants. So they have been warning them, keep your cows in check. In Ghana, you either ranch your cattle or you lose them. This is the...
Again, this is because the Fulani people are herders and they don't respect the land territorial bounds. You know, the ones that the Europeans set up. Apparently, sometimes between now and the late 1900s, the governments decided they liked having territorial bounds between their neighbors, their country. And it sounds like they kept it. They could erase those boundaries anytime they wanted, but they haven't.
Committee 22, look at them. Just look at them. And then you refuse to ranch your cattle. If the Ghana Security Service enforce the laws, then you'll be crying. In the Volta region, that's what they used to do. These cows would go into people's farm and destroy their crops. Until the Volta farmers decided to climb back. They took drastic actions, and now those things don't happen in Volta region again. If you allow one person, then another one wants to do it. And madam, when she was talking...
And he's angry about these foreigners coming to his land. He's angry. He's angry about these foreigners coming to his land, and we're supposed to stay calm about it. I'm just saying, okay? So you get the point. I don't know. He's a little angry, a little African Nigerian, but we'll let him rock on with somebody else. You all continue. Let's look at some more angry people. So the heading says, residents of Atububu gives Fulani 10-day ultimatum for Fulanis to leave their land. What are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna call ICE like we do? Somebody put the ICE hotline. I'm learning a lot. So y'all don't like foreigners come. Y'all don't like foreign. Why don't y'all unify with the Africans? Why don't y'all unify with those Fulanis? That's what you need to do. Instead of trying to getting us to unify with you all, unify with those Fulanis. I don't know what the hell she's saying, but I think she's saying call ICE. That's what I think she's saying. I think she's saying contact ICE right now, okay? So y'all get the point. Are you all starting to see a pattern here? Are y'all starting to see a pattern? Let's keep pushing.
Just Fulanis who are killing Nigerians.
Oh.
Yes, you heard that right. The people that run this world will do everything to keep humanity in the dark, because once we know the truth points right at them. I know even as I made that statement, your heart is shattered. You want to insult me. You want to sweep and leave this space. But
I mean, he lost me when he said it's not just the Fulanis killing Nigerians. So you mean Nigerians getting unalived over there? That's what you said? And this is where y'all want to go home to? So y'all don't really get along with each other like that. Well, why do y'all expect us to get along? You want Black Americans? Where are all the Pan-Africans in there? Come on in here. I want all you Pan-Africans to come in here. You all tell us all the time that calling ourselves FBA is disunity. But based on the 4 or 5, and I said 4, I didn't say 4, I said 4 or 5 videos I've seen, you all don't have unity in those countries. How can you expect to come to another country where you don't speak the language, we don't share the same culture, and expect us to unify with you? And y'all don't even like us. So again, I don't want to get in your business. The last thing I wanted to do over the past couple of days is save all these videos from these different TikTokers. I don't even go to African TikTok. Okay, but when I said, who the Fulani people? They are whooping butt. Them they whooping people butt over there. None of y'all like them. None of y'all like them, huh? It's a trip. All right, let's keep looking at the videos because we trying to learn something. I want to understand. Let's get some history.
The Fulani problems in Nigeria. I was asked to provide some insight into understanding the Fulani problems in Nigeria. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May Allah guide me to speak the truth. Fulani history is only tied to the spread of the Sahara Desert. Simple, very easy to understand. And the problems in Nigeria are easily understood with the historical perspective of Fulani migrations from northern Africa. So the Fulani originate probably somewhere from Egypt or Levant in ancient times when those areas were green and you could have cattle.
So you saying the Fulani people are not from there? They're tethers. That's what you're saying. They're Akatas. The Fulani people who are living in Nigeria are the Akatas. That's because they came there and they tethered themselves to the Nigerian, Malayan, Ghanaian culture. That's what you're saying? Tethered? Okay. Thank you. I'm happy you helped us put that. That's where they got the word from, y'all. That's why they know the word so well. Okay.
There. The earliest accounts we have of the Fulani are in ancient Byzantine Empire, where a Roman called the Berber tribe Barsafulitani, or Felata in Arabic, which is the Arabic name for the Fulani. So the Fulani were probably some kind of Berber tribe living in northern Africa. And then when the Umayyads came and invaded, the Fulani spread south from...
so they fled. The Fulani fled from the Arab invaders who brought the light of Islam with them. Oh, I get it. So you all have been fleeing for a minute. Okay, let's go.
North Africa. Some say the Fulani are descendants of the Umayyads. My opinion is that the Fulani is probably a Berber tribe that mixed with Umayyad Arabs. So Arab-Berber mix. Over time, as the desert spread, the Fulani would settle in the Savannah belt, meaning the green part of southern Sahara. As the Sahara spread, the Fulani moved more and more south. And this naturally creates a problem of territory with indigenous people who live in the more greener areas, the more jungly, foresty.
So they're indigenous. Oh, so you refer to the people in Nigeria that's been there for generations as indigenous. But didn't the dude just say Nigeria didn't exist till like 1950? So was it really, because I'm just trying to understand, if our country, we've been here for 300-400 years, we're still not indigenous, we're not foundational Black American, but the Africans in Nigeria who's only been called Nigeria for 50 years, they're considered indigenous? Somebody type, in the chat room, And so the Akatas came and invaded the Nigerian land, so they're called, they're called indigenous because they were there when the invaders came.
Areas like the Igbos and Yorubas. There's fight over land, fight over the cattle eating, farmland. Fula and Jolas have the same problem in Senegambia region. So this is not isolated to Nigeria. The Fulani as nomads have the same problem everywhere because the cows eat the green stuff. And the Fulani having this Berber Arabic background are very Muslim. 99% of Fulani are Muslim, and that can also create some religious tension in terms of jihads versus Yoruba animist spirituality, which we also have seen historically. For example, Usman Danfodio Sokoto in Nigeria versus the Hausa, who had a non-Islamic kingdom according to historical accounts.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm going to entertain another. Black Americans think that the U.S. will always be safe and comfortable. This country is heading towards financial collapse and politicians are lying to you. Julius Caesar, look, so you would prefer we go to Mexico? I think Mexico is already dealing with financial collapse. It's a narco state. How about, I don't know, let's pick a Venezuela. How about that? Didn't we just forcibly remove their leader? I'm saying, so you're telling me we should leave? We're not leaving, first of all. And if we were leaving because of financial collapse, why would we go to another country that's already financially collapsed? And that also goes for Africa too. I'm just saying. So y'all need to chill with the comments. You're not talking to just any old body. I actually think about these things because I want to be able to answer these questions. Y'all see how calm I am? I want y'all to know, look how calm I am. I want you to know. Look how calm. Give me a hand clap. See how I'm talking to people? I'm talking to all these people like they retarded. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to all these people like they don't have good sense, like they used to ride the short bus to school And when you were a little kid and you saw them kids would have their tongue and their face smashed against the back window in the school bus. That's how I'm talking to these people today. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm so calm. To me, okay, I'm just calm. I'm feeling me. I got this fresh haircut. Y'all like that? Y'all like that fresh? Look at that. This is my good side. This is my raggedy side. I can't seem to get this part to grow. But whatever. Okay, and the man came through and I got my hairline back. The dude got a little spray. I didn't even ask him to do that. And I'm calm today. I'm handsome today. So I'm gonna be calm. When I get back to being raggedy, I'm gonna start yelling at y'all again. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep listening calmly to some more of these videos. I want to know. Don't y'all want to know? I want to know. I'm trying to know. Okay.
Across West Africa are at risk of genocide because people are becoming more okay with the idea of genociding Fulani people. People are endorsing genocidal rhetoric toward Fulani people, and people are trying to distance themselves from Fulani people altogether. Many people don't realize that even though a lot of the violence being perpetrated in the Sahel is being done by militant militia fighters, many of whom are Fulani, Fulani people are the main victims of this violence in a lot of situations and in a lot of areas. Most Fulani people have no desire to commit violence against groups of people, but people are drawing a one-to-one between terrorists and random Fulani people. Day before yesterday, I showed a video of a Hausa girl saying that she's not Fulani, right? Trying to distance herself from
She said she's not
Fulani people. And I said that this is the second time I've seen this happen. The first one was Isa Bako, and I did a video on that as well. Now this is the third time I'm seeing it happen. I just came across another video.
It's like they talking so fast, they're trying to get it all in. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down, okay?
Do we not realize what is going on? When people do this thing of trying to...
On behalf of most foundational Black America, we don't even care. Like, if I hadn't done this broadcast, they wouldn't even know. They would think Fulani was one of those tribes that got kidnapped and brought to America. They don't know. But again, you all like to get in our business, so I'm getting in your business. And it seems to me like y'all are full of that hell and conflict over. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's see what girl he was talking about. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay, this is who you talking about? What she got?
He was asking what tribe I am from. So yeah, I'm gonna answer.
You from the Forehead tribe, baby. That's what forehead. That's what tribe you from. Now you pretty from the eyebrows down, but your forehead, it's like a 6 or 7 head. Okay, and no matter how much you wear that little piece of cloth, that little house on the prairie, towel over your head, I can see your forehead. Okay, you pretty. You're a pretty girl, but your forehead gives it away. Now, I'm gonna let you speak. Go ahead.
I am Hausa. My mom is from Bauchi State and my dad is from Katsina. So I'm pure Hausa, no mix. I'm not Hausa Fulani.
Hausa,
I usually
Hausa.
got mistaken for Ibira, sometimes Yoruba, even Fulani because of my physique. But I think maybe my mom is Fulani or my dad, but me, deep down in my heart, even if
So Hausa and Fulani. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm Fulani, I don't want to be Fulani.
She got that good boxing chin too, strong. Go ahead, baby girl. You pretty though.
I want to be Hausa complete.
I couldn't find the original video. I wanted to check a few things, but this isn't the first time I'm seeing somebody try to say like, oh, I'm Hausa, I'm not Fulani, right? And I don't know how big of a phenomenon this is.
I don't know how big her forehead is, sir, either. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I want us to understand that we're not going to solve what's going on in Nigeria by drawing a one-to-one between Fulanis and terrorists, right? I want to talk about some issues.
It seemed like that's what they're doing. It seemed like the Fulanis are the T word. It seemed like they come over there with their cows. They're breaking through the borders. Y'all need some ice over there. Y'all need some Nigerian ice. We got a couple. We can loan you some. I'm sure Trump will be more than happy to send them over there. They cost less than the missile we use to bomb your country, okay? But what I'm saying is, sir, seems to me like it's a lot of conflict over there in the motherland where all this superior culture is.
Issues I had with that video, but I also want to talk about maybe what can be done to help the situation as a whole. This is at least the second time that I'm seeing somebody say, well, no, I'm not Fulani, I'm Hausa. And I want you to understand something. One, right, there's heavy intermixing between Fulani and Hausa people. This lady even said, well, maybe my mom is Hausa Fulani, or maybe my dad is Hausa Fulani. Wouldn't that also make you Hausa Fulani? Do you think people care about, well, what's in my heart, right? One. Two, I don't know that in the case that you actually are 100% Hausa, no Fulani, whatever, that people would care to know the difference. If people
y'all beefing over there, man. Y'all. I mean, they said we couldn't tell the difference between Africans and foundational Black Americans, and we said, yes, we can, and they said, no, you can't. But y'all could tell the difference between each other. What makes you think we can't tell the difference? I'm looking at foreheads, or I'm looking at covered up foreheads. See this forehead that he covering up right there with that Major League Baseball cap? We know what you're doing. I don't have to wear, because I got, I'm about symmetrical. But yours go back there. We know you when we see you. But I'm gonna let you finish.
People are looking for a scapegoat. If people are willing to engage in tribalism to find a scapegoat, do you not think that they are likely to lump you in with Fulani people, even if you are Hausa, right? If you haven't already seen this video, I'd maybe go watch it when you have a second. It's called Fulanis and Jihadism in the Sahel, and this guy, his account is called Pax America.
Yeah, so I'm listening. I'm listening to these people talk about all this internal strife that they have and who's the source of it. Sounds like a lot of excuses. Sounds like y'all need to work harder. Somebody type work harder in the chat room. Maybe y'all just work harder. It'd be less trouble. Just work harder. That's what I want you to do. Let's see what she has to say.
One thing I hate about the Guinean community, specifically the Fulani community, they love to discriminate against darker skin tones because to them, darker skin Fulanis don't exist. We exist and we the baddest in the game. Just because you like...
Oh, so they have colorism. They have colorism too. Oh, okay. So it's not just us, y'all. Okay, I'm glad to know because you all judge our culture so harshly. Fulani, colorism, black, light skinned black, still black African.
Light skin does not mean you're attractive. Just because you're lighter doesn't mean you're cute. A lot of y'all be light. Let me put quotes on that. Let me use that lightly because y'all not light. A lot of y'all bleach y'all skin. Y'all want to look white, y'all want to look bright, but y'all look demonic when y'all try to look brighter. Y'all look just scary, green veins popping, looking like shit. Y'all look ridiculous. And I don't let what they say get under my skin because I just know how.
So you the second African that I saw that don't like light-skinned people. That when people start saying they don't like light-skinned people, that means that you don't think the highest of yourself. That's the first thing I noticed. You feel you want to look for somebody else to blame for why you're not getting the man action you think you should, in my opinion, okay? But let's go ahead and let you finish. She got a bonnet. Somebody type bonnet in the chat room.
And listen, if you know me, you know. Like, I love my skin tone. I love being dark. Nothing can ever make me change my skin tone, my color. Like, I love my color. It's so rich. It's beautiful. But the Fulani community, they act like dark skins don't exist. Like, we the baddest in the game. We the baddest in the game.
We the baddest. Why are you talking about it if you love it so much? Go ahead.
Just because someone is not light, that does not mean they're not Fulani. Because if you're seen as light, automatically people think, you're Senegalese, you're Gambian, or you're from a whole different country, Mali. But they can't seem to wrap their head around you being from Guinea just because you're dark skinned, which is so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, y'all are Africans, so I would imagine that if you're in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, you're gonna be dark skinned. Okay, but go ahead, baby, go ahead.
To me. Just because you're used to seeing your mom bleach her skin, your grandma, your sisters, your aunties, even your brothers, that does not mean they're lighter. That does not mean that's the beauty standard. Okay, wake up. I can smell a person who bleaches 10 miles away. You know those people who bleach their skin and then you look and they act like they don't bleach? A lot of people in the Fulani community, they acting like that, like, I don't bleach my skin. I can see if you bleach. Like, it's so easy to tell when someone bleach. Like, a lot of y'all need to practice.
I can see the insecurity, baby girl. Okay, I can see the insecurity. But go ahead.
Practice self-love. Y'all don't love yourselves. Like, and that's actually sad. It's heartbreaking. It's about to be 2026. Why are we still discriminating? Why are we still being colorist?
Why y'all? It seemed like y'all been doing it a long time. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like this is your culture over here. Again, you all find reasons to be mad at each other, and y'all want us to do what? I don't know.
Move away from the term tribalism when we're addressing issues that pertain to our country, because it's not every single time that we talk about an issue, especially this particular issue that's terrorizing the whole country, and the first thing you have to say is tribalism, because it's not tribalism. Being put simply, Fulani herdsmen are terrorizing the whole country, but most particularly the southern part of Nigeria.
So it's not tribalism, it's just the Fulani's fault. That's your adversary. Shout out to Where's the Love. Okay, thank you all for being so kind with me. Okay, so it's the Fulani's fault. That's what you're saying. Okay, all right, I got it. Just so like when y'all come over here and you say it's the Black Americans' fault. If Black Americans would you finish the sentence. If Black Americans would ... Okay, it's our fault, but you all have the same issues over there. Okay, somebody type, okay, we'll keep it pushing. Let's see what else you got to say.
The southern part of Nigeria. Like, why are we dancing around the fact that these people come into people's communities, they rape, they kidnap, and they delete people for no good reason?
That's what we saying is happening with all these immigrants. They rape, kidnap, and use social services. We saying the same thing you all are saying, but we saying about y'all.
And the first thing you have to say in defense is people are being tribalistic when they address this issue.
Y'all call us, you say we're not being unified. You say we're being divisive. You say tribalistic, but I think tribalism and divisive, I think I can get tribalism and divisive to mean the same thing. So that's what you all say about us. So why you complaining about us, complaining about you? Well, I'm just saying, sir. It seems a bit.
It's an issue that is happening. So why are we dancing around it? There's hundreds, and might I dare even say thousands of unaccounted deaths from these Fulani herdsmen. And the moment you shed light on these issues,
about that, this guy seems like he voted for Trump. You sound just like Donald Trump.
Is the moment they say are being tribalistic. And there's only one way of shedding light on this issue.
No, you're being xenophobic, okay? You just need to work harder. That's what you need to do. You need to work harder and comply, okay? That's what you need. That's what you tell us.
And it's for the common man to speak. Because the state clearly doesn't care. I even saw a video from a guy today talking about the South isn't any better. They practice cannibalism. They do
cannibalism.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of like, you're the tribalistic person. Those are your biases against people from the southern part of Nigeria. You are the problem.
You are the problem. That's what we've been saying, right? You are the problem. I'm gonna leave that one there. Let's get through some more of these. Are you all seeing a pattern up in here? I see a pattern. I'm seeing it.
In my country, Nigeria, and nobody wants to talk about it.
Probably because there's always some genocides going on in y'all's country, and that's what they do. Okay, but go ahead, sir. Go ahead, young man.
This genocide from the Fulani people from the western part of Nigeria, they've been terrorizing everyone.
This is tribal profiling, bro.
Tribal profiling. This is tribal profiling. Oh my goodness. Oh, where are the Pan-Africans that y'all didn't tell us this was going on in Africa? You all neglected to tell us that all this conflict and beef going on in Africa before we booked our tickets for the year of return. Why didn't we hear about this? Huh? I mean, why? I'm just asking. We need to know. Okay?
Speak about Fulani, bro. It's like they have no skeleton in their closet. It's always so brazen. I do know I'm generalizing. I did that on purpose. But do you know the funny thing about this whole situation is Boko Haram is not Fulani. The ideology is not Fulani. The founders are not Fulani. Even the name, the name is not Fulani, you know, like, it's mind-blowing, but they don't care, you know, as long as we can tarnish that Fulani name, who cares, you know? You know, there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria, yeah? The T group have been terrorizing the North for years and years and years. Now it's getting to the South, yeah? Just 5 days ago or 6 days ago, a mosque was burned down and 27 people in it were unalived, yeah? So is there Muslim genocide? No. It's just a banditry issue.
Banditry. You got bandits over there and they just unaliving people. Where's the unity? Where is the unity? I thought, you know, we were the only ones that didn't like. Y'all don't like each other. That's what's happening. Let's hear what the white man got to say.
Gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000.
Praise Jesus. Praise the Lord. Go ahead.
Since 2009, they've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more.
Who is they? You mean the Nigerians there are doing that to other Nigerians? Is that what you're telling me? These are the people, and it's not just the Nigerians. It's cross-border. But you're telling me these are the people you want us to unify with? This is, again, as I said, Black Americans can't unify with Africans because Africans can't unify with Africans. And y'all been wondering why we don't get along? Well, I guess we learned.
Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Yeah. They can't protest it because the people doing the unaliving of other black people from the same country. Okay? So that's why they can't say anything about it, sir. And I'm just here to help. Okay, I'm here to try to help you out because I want you to understand what's going on. Let's keep looking. We got a couple more videos.
I think Fulani people are racist. Fulani women are Let us a Fulani woman because it's just
Fulani as a whole is racist.
Okay.
I have Fulani friends, bro.
So have you
Fulani? Yes, I did.
Have you experienced it? Tell me.
I'm Fulani, but I don't speak Fulani.
Well, you Fulani?
I'm Fulani, but I don't speak Fulani.
What the fuck you tell? So you're racist?
No. I'm Fulani from Mali. It's too different. It's
you from Mali.
Completely different.
So y'all dealing with racism, colorism, conflict. That's what's going on over there. It's a lot. It's a lot of beefing going over there. It's a lot of issues that you all have. Okay.
I be hearing that.
Wait, you're Fulani?
Yeah.
The Fulani from Mali and the Fulani from
Where's the feature?
He's a Saul.
Exactly my point.
He's a Saul. You know that, right?
No, my last name is Saul. But look.
Yeah.
So you're not called Fulani?
Yeah. So they got their tribes going on, and they like, man, that's where you from? Sound like it's gonna be some problems in the hallway. Sounds like y'all gonna. I mean, I'm just saying. Let's take a look at this. What's going on? Fulani Islamist militant parade. These are people they kidnap. These are women and children. Shout out to RS11. This is who. They standing there like this is normal. This is what they do. Y'all just got kidnapped and y'all ain't breaking and running and hiding and duck ain't nowhere to hide in Africa. And nowhere to go. And nowhere else to go. They just rounding them up. Fulani Islamist militant parade, Kawara kidnapped victims. That's about 30 or 40 people out there. That's what y'all doing? Damn. Shout out to Carlton J. Ward. That's what y'all doing.
To yanzu za ku ji yanayin inda aka kama su da kuma yanayin yawan nasu a bakin su. Ya ana aka kama ku? Wace karamar hukuma? Wace jiha ce?
Kwara State.
Kefa?
I mean, I ain't never seen that many kids stand there still. They must be scared. Y'all done scared them children. Them kids is over there clutching their mamas and stuff. Y'all scared them kids. What are y'all doing? The kids. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, golly. Shout out to the motherland.
Aka kamo ku? Wace karamar hukuma?
Well, we gonna thoughts and prayers. Somebody type thoughts and prayers in the chat room. I hope y'all make it out. Maybe some of these folk over here, all in our African-American, Black American business can go focus on some of their own business because it seems like they need to, okay? That's what it seems like they need to. Let's see some more. Now this looks like a raid. Look like they're raiding. One Nigeria is no longer sustainable is happening. Fulani terrorists are overrunning Lagos State. That's what they do. They overrunning the state. Damn. Y'all need some Black Hawk helicopters.
I need the backup, bro.
Now, for all you black folks who contemplated going back to Africa, let's not just focus on you. What about your children and your children's children? Okay? If this tribalism has been going on for thousands of years and caused these folks to sell us over here into slavery where they say we're not even their relatives, what happens when they stop seeing your grandchildren and great-grandchildren as their relatives? Did you hear that I said over the past 50 years about 11 million people have been unalived throughout Africa? That's darn near as much as the slave trade.
Backup lókúta nídìí o. Bàbá wa Sunday Igboho ẹ dìde. Bàbá wa Sunday Igboho ẹ dìde o. Ẹ dìde o. Awúsá ti fẹ́ pa wá tán o. Awúsá ti fẹ́ pa wá tán o. Ẹ wo. Ẹ bẹ sún sọ́ọ̀bù. Wo. Adé sójà díẹ̀.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing over there. Does not look like a peaceful place to be. Okay, and I'm sure there's some wonderful places in Africa, just not that part, right?
This video is so important to me. I want my African American followers, my Caribbean followers to be the judge of this. Maybe I'm going to be biased. I don't know. Tell me. You tell me, because you are coming from an unbiased place. Yeah.
Yes.
Now
Yeah,
this person is an Igbo person. That this video is so important to me because I got bullied by
the Igbo do human sacrifice with their own people, but they do not go to the Fulani areas, states, regions to use other people. That's because them Fulanis probably will fight them. That's probably what's going on. But I don't know if that's true either. I didn't know all that goes on.
my other side of the family because of some of the lies people have been spreading about the Fulani people. The other side of my family bullied.
Seems like a lot of people don't like the Fulani people to me, sir. And I'm just getting into this.
Me for being half Fulani because of some of these lies. So this is very important to me. So let me just, like, most of these, the things people say, it's just complete lie. Like completely, not even 1% of it is true. There are some truths, but most of it is just pure lies. So let's start with the first one. Okay, you see this person, he said some Igbo people do human sacrifice. Is there something worse than sacrificing your own?
Some do. That's too many. Sir, that's still too many. Some, none is the only acceptable number when we talk about human sacrifice. None. Did you say some, sir? No. That's, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Okay, in my humble opinion. But let's keep listening.
People, probably, yeah. Probably a few things, but probably not much is worse than sacrificing your own people. But he gave his people grace, and I agree. Even if it is 1 million of them doing human sacrifice, I'll give them grace. Of course, it's not everybody. But the thing is, they don't give the land.
I mean, y'all doing Epstein over there too. Yeah, they got Epstein. They got their own version of Epstein. Let me move on to another video. It's a lot of issues. Y'all bringing that. These are the people they want us to bond with. These are the people that they say. These are the people that they want us to unify with. Where are the Pan-Africanists? Where are y'all at? I need to see you all. Come to the front of the room, Pan-Africanists.
Good afternoon or good evening to anybody at all. So to those Ghanaians that are saying, national security, arrest this guy, this girl, you have to do this, you have to do that, you should do her this for some time now for the...
To those Ghanaians calling for my arrest and personally attacking me because I'm Fulani, you are weak and senseless human being. Baby, that's just gonna make them more angry. You can't tell them that. You girl, you got on the internet and called them out. That's bad business. But that's what they doing to y'all over there? Damn.
The past 1 month, I have been on circulation on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok, and on your Instagram pages. Let me ask you, after all the personal attacks, you did not actually think about who I really am? But
now, is that your real hair? Because it don't look like the hair that grow out your head naturally. That looks like one of those little, I see a little glue stripe right there across the top of your head. I mean, it's shining and bouncing. It looked like a perm on a pimp from 1983, hopping out of El Camino, riding down Vermont Boulevard right before you make that left turn on Slauson. That's how you look. Okay, I mean, that is some straight DJ Quick pimp hair you got going on. I mean, that's fly. That's real fly. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, baby. Let you finish.
To you insinuating because I am a puller, you can filter out your dirty mouth to talk anyhow.
Dirty mouth.
Then some of you would think that because you are a puller or a Fulani, you should come out to educate instead of coming out to insult.
Have you guys, those hypocrites in my comment section, have you guys gone to those people that are typing rubbish here on social media?
I mean, they very emotional. This is like gangbanging. They are very emotional about that. I mean, golly, what do you, oh my God, somebody's taking over the broadcast. Oh,
greetings to everyone. And of course, Ikinishi Bugo Awambati Ayaba Ile Africa. My name is Ayo Kweku Olumari. Yes, that is a West African name. And for you thick-tongued guinea fowls, no, it does not come with a nickname. I'm the new HN in this raggedy termite mound, and clearly overqualified for this chaotic safari of an assignment. Akomini Tan, Ofin, Etoro Aji, Mogbonoro, Moede, Atimu Padapari Anja. And yet, here I am, stuck babysitting this extra husky bushbuck of a commentator. And just so you know, I am not being paid for this baobab-sized nonsense. My job is simple. Every time this light-skinned marabou stork with a microphone says something reckless, uninformed, or unnecessarily adventurous with the facts, I will appear, quietly, suddenly, like a leopard in tall grass. Consider me FBA knee-haw quality control. So this overfed warthog with a megaphone better watch his words carefully. Proceed with caution. Momang boni bububa. I'm always listening.
You hear that? You hear him jump bad on me on my bro? Get out of here. Get up out of here. Get up. How dare he? You see that, man? Just take over my broadcast like that. Just jump in like that. Who hacked? Who's out here hacking my live stream? Who did that? Who did that? Talking about, I wish you would. What do you call me? I don't know what he said, but I don't like none of that. And I don't know what, I'm gonna need somebody to translate those words that he was speaking. So I'm gonna say something back to him. But anyway, to my foundation of Black American brothers and sisters, you need to understand something. When people migrate, they don't leave their environments behind. They bring their experiences with them. If someone grows up in a place where politics is life or death, where power means safety, where losing means poverty or prison, where instability is normal, that's how they see the world. And that's how that shapes how they respond to tension and how quickly things can escalate. And that doesn't mean that they're evil. It just means they've been conditioned by high conflict environments. Now compare that to us. Foundational Black Americans were shaped by slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, mass incarceration. But we also were shaped by something else. We shaped by building under pressure. We're shaped by the Black church, by schools, businesses. We built our culture. We built political movements, and we learned how to maneuver inside an existing structure, not overthrow it or burn everything down. You know, we learned adaptation, survival by adaptation, and that's a different mindset. So, when people come from places where force has historically changed outcomes, and they enter a culture where influence is built slowly through institutions like media law and social leverage, there's going to be beef. There's going to be friction because the operation systems are different. One mindset says secure power quickly. The other mindset says build position steadily. Okay, that's us. And one mindset says politics, they see it as a battlefield, and the other see it as a long game. That's us. Now here's the problem. When people who are still operating on survival mode gain even a small amount of influence, they move fast. They push hard and they overreach, not because they hate per se, but because they're used to fighting for their space. And that's what you see these Africans doing. They got a little toehold in Black America, and now they're raising all this hell. And see, the thing you need to understand is survival mode doesn't relax easily. And if you're not in survival mode, if you're thinking in terms of stability, structure, and long-term positioning, that energy feels aggressive. And that's what we're dealing with. These people are too aggressive, okay? and it's going to escalate. It's going to cause constant friction. It's going to cause, and here's the difference. You can't build peace with someone who still believes they're at war. And not because they're horrible people, but because their nervous system is wired for threat. And when two groups are operating from different threat levels, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of misunderstandings. And that doesn't mean we can't get along with people, okay? It means integration. First of all, integration requires trust. It requires stability. You understand? And it requires people who feel the same, who feel safe enough to lower their guard. You understand? And if someone still believes power has got to be grabbed before it's taken from them by somebody else, then cooperation becomes secondary to position. These people are literally trying to swap destinies with us because they feel as though if they don't take our place, whether it's Essence Fest, Black History Month, our positions in universities, then they don't feel safe. You see? That's part of their identity. That's their history. That's the mindset that shaped their environment. And until survival mode calms down, peace is always going to be temporary with these folk. Now, we're about almost 2 hours in, okay? And I want you all to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. Please do that. Please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and do that right now. I need you to subscribe to the channel. All right, I got plenty more to say, but I want y'all to subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Real Conversation. I appreciate you. Take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. I need some subscribers to come on in and make my job easier. I need 83 people to subscribe to the channel, okay? Now, I want to kind of break down this beef that these people have. Now, again, I don't want to get off in the African people business, but they seem to want to get off in our business. They tell us what's wrong with our women. They tell us about marriage. They tell us about our culture. They don't like our soul food. They don't like, they say immigrants built this country. This is what they say to us. They love getting in our business, okay? But see, years ago, they had this conflict in Nigeria, okay? And that's where this Fulani beef and whatnot came from. And see, now it's no longer just about cows eating crops. It's about armed crime. It's about terrorism. It's about ethnic struggle. It's about political struggle, climate problems, social media information. You see, they're doing a lot over there, okay? They're doing too much. And so Pan-African, people, this is who you want us to roll with. You understand? And see, it's not that simple. You got Fulani. It's not simply Fulani versus Nigeria or Muslim versus Christian or North versus South. It's a convergence of land pressure, weak governance, crooked cops, okay, political manipulation, and fear of losing their identity. They don't want to lose their identity. Like we don't want to lose our identity, our FBA identity. They don't want to lose theirs either. You see? And see, this is a conflict with too many narratives and too many people playing positions and too much history to reduce to a single ethnic label. And if it continues to be simplified that way, the danger is going to increase. Now, let me tell you what's going on. In many parts of Nigeria, especially in the Northwest and the central regions, you got armed criminal gangs that call themselves bandits. They kidnap people for ransom. They steal people's cows. They burn down people's farms. They attack innocent villagers. They block the highway. And then they want money from the communities. This is like the mob. And many of these bandits come from what's called the Fulani herder backgrounds. They're the Akatas. Okay, not all the Fulani bandits, and this is based on what I'm hearing. It's based on what we heard. I did a little summary. Most of the Fulani people are regular citizens, but herders, students, business owners, politicians. But because of the criminals, mostly Fulani, speaking, everybody gets, drug in, okay? So they want to delineate. They're not saying it's African problem. They say, oh, these are the Fulanis. So they've delineated themselves. Now, in farming communities, especially in the southern and central Nigeria, people are terrified, okay? The attacks on villages have increased. The kidnappings have increased. The ransom demands have gone up. Women are being assaulted. Farmers say the crops are being destroyed. These people are horrible. And these people don't feel safe. And the government's not protecting them. And so they're getting mad. And they're looking for revenge. And we know what happens, retaliation. And what is leading to is mob attacks on anybody that looks like a herder. They're burning out settlements. They got ethnic targeting. And they're killing people without trial. And so now the violence goes both ways. Instead of just criminals attacking farmers, it become the community versus the community. It's lawless over there in many parts of that. Now, the other thing is the Nigerian military has launched operations to fight these bandits and terrorists. But when the military goes into certain areas, sometimes they just arrest large groups of people. Anybody can get it. Shout out to Cherie. And they treat the entire community like suspects. So you got police brutality going over. They just detaining people. And so even if innocent people are harmed, it's okay. Okay? But what happens when innocent people get harmed, then innocent people want to take up arms, so they increase. And you hurt somebody's family member that they care about, guess what? They're going to want to go get some people to come retaliate. Okay? People see the videos, they share their stories, they talk about the rumors. They call the Fulanis the invaders. The Fulani, they say they're not Nigerian, they're trying to take over. It's a religious genocide. Ain't that the same thing these white nationalists say? Where are the white nationalists at? Did y'all write a memo to these people in Nigeria and tell them what to say? Because this man sounds mighty familiar, right? It sounds like those Nigerians need their own version of Trump. Okay, they're saying that the Fulani are racist. Fulani people are saying y'all using us as a scapegoat, right? This is what they're saying. But the bottom line is, it's about land, it's about drought, it's about grazing. The government is weak. The security forces are corrupt. The politicians protect their own ethnic group. They don't worry about other people's. And the people in the country are neglected. You got people getting kidnapped. You got demand for millions of dollars. They've used the money to buy weapons. And these people, they're not 100% with the cause. They just for the mayhem. And then the cold part about it, they linked it to those radical jihadist groups. Boko Haram, the Islamic State of West Africa. They got a new name, ISWAP. Okay, not to be confused with WAP, but ISWAP. They want to control the territory. They want to impose strict Islamic rule. Okay, they want to attack both Muslims and Christians. And some fighters are Fulani, some are not. Okay? You got 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. And when the violence spread, people retreat to their ethnic group. Protect the tribe. This is what they do. Defend our people. They're taking over. This is what they say. Sounds like a MAGA party to me. What happened to all that I thought you weren't xenophobic. Why don't you let them Fulanis in? Mm-hmm. The government's not doing anything. You see? So it's a problem. It's a real problem. They're calling it a Christian genocide. That's what they're doing. And they still blaming the colonialists. Look, colonialism only lasted about 50 or 60 years. It couldn't have had that much effect, especially since it's been 70 years ago. Okay? Then get over it. Isn't that what y'all tell? Get over it. Like y'all want us to get over slavery. Get over it. You get over it. Now here's some other issues they're dealing with. And they got high youth unemployment, but they have easy access to weapons. I can't believe they call us violent. Notice how they say you are so violent when the black American is so violent. Y'all are passing out guns to kids, and we're violent. I mean, you have a high unemployment rate to the point that people out there trying to kidnap people so they can get money. And you got the nerve to call us lazy? Huh? I'm just saying. Nigeria got all these bodies and people being born. Y'all have a baby mama problem. And apparently 90% of the kids that the fathers get tested are not for them. So you got a 304 problem in the homeland. And you got the nerve to come over here and tell us what we need to do? You got, I mean, this is gasoline on the fire. Okay? I mean, think about it, man. Now, what do you need? I'm gonna tell you what you need. Since you get in my business, us foundational Black Americans, we have solutions. We're a solutions-based culture. Now, your long-term solutions is you need to figure out these land boundaries, okay? All right, and the other thing you need to do, since you need to figure out your ranching system, all right, so some of these cows don't have to roam freely like that and piss people off. You need to get these corrupt law enforcement out. You need some security reform. And you also need some fair law enforcement, you need that instead of being able to bribe everybody off. And you need some youth program. Put a basketball court up. Hell, that'll keep them busy. Maybe we can send some football helmets over there, let them knock some sense into each other. But that's what you need. Like we do here. And you need to get all your neighbors to cooperate with you across West Africa. And you need to stop all this ethnic scapegoating. That's what you need to do. But see, that's going to require structural change in our soldiers, and that means somebody got to pay for it. And we know that's not what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to take all your money and go to Europe with it. We know what you do. We watch you. We see what you do. Okay? Now, again, y'all got all into my business, our foundational Black American business, so that's why I'm getting into your business. Don't make me do it again. Don't make me do it again. I will. I'll get right back in here. Okay? So I employ everybody in here to kind of look at what's going on over there, and then you'll accept the fact that these folk come from conflict. Now, I'm on this nice, calm night, I want to take the opportunity to thank the beautiful people who contributed to the Cash App. And we got $12 on the Cash App. Praise God, it's been a good day. This is like a Wednesday evening service. Shout out to Maid Miko. Thank you so much for the $2. And Charles Watkins, thank you so much. Let's look at these super chats. We got 19 super chats. Y'all ain't gonna have me here for 4.5 hours. Not gonna have me in here for 4.5 because y'all don't learn nothing no way. Okay? If you learn something, I should earn something. And clearly y'all not learning enough. But you know what? Hold on a minute. I gotta make sure you guys do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do. I need y'all to make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Let me see what my subscriptions look like. We ain't taking a break. But you all need to go ahead and, are you learning something? If you hadn't learned anything, you just hard to teach. But if you learn something, I should earn something. But in the meantime, I need y'all to make sure, apparently YouTube took 20 of my subscribers away for whatever reasons. I need you all to make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel right now. Take the time to subscribe to the channel. I'm checking to see what my subscriptions look like right now. I need you all to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. You'll never get another person as bold as me. I need, I need approximately 18 people to subscribe to the channel so I can get to 92,600. I need 18 people to subscribe to the channel so I can get to 92,600. Okay, so take the time and hit your little button and subscribe to the channel right now. I know you hear me. I know you hear me. I know. I'm looking at you. You right there. You with your phone like this on the side of your face. I'm looking you in the pickup, you in the truck with your phone down there listening to me in your truck. You riding across the country. Yeah, you. I need you to subscribe to the channel right now. Don't play. All right? Go ahead. Go ahead. You sitting in there ignoring your girlfriend, listening to me, go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Everybody who have something else to do and you sat up here and decide to listen to me with your earphones on, subscribe to the channel right now. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Is he talking to me? I'm talking to you. You with the shirt on. I'm talking to you right now. And I'm talking to you too, lady. I'm talking to you with the bonnet on your head. All the women with bonnets on your head. Every woman with a bonnet on her head, I need you to subscribe to the channel right now. All right? Fellas. All the fellas with crusty feet, I need you to subscribe to the channel right now. I need my crusty feet crew. All the brothers that have not put lotion on their feet and they got ashy ankles, I need you to subscribe to the channel. All the white supremacists who are waiting around for me to to get the black committee to issue an official apology, I need y'all to hit the subscribe button now. Go ahead and do it. All the angry Muslims, all the angry black Muslims, I need you to come in here. I need you to subscribe. You need to hear this. You need to come on up in and hear this. I need 6 more people to subscribe to the channel right now. All you angry, come on. Come on now. Don't run from it. Don't just be happy it's not your day. Just be happy it's not your day. I'll be on them. When people die, I give them their day. Haitians, they caught hands last week. The poor Haitians, they were like, what are you doing to me? We are doing. Yeah, I caught hands. It's not your day today, baby. Subscribe to the channel today. Go ahead. We need 5 more people to subscribe to the channel, and I get back to work. I need 5 people. Out of 600-700 of y'all, I need 5 folk. You send this to a friend. Send this to your Muslim friend. He about to do his hadith. He over there, talking about don't eat pork. Don't eat pork. Send him this. Next time you say, that's why I've been eating them pork rinds in front of you right now. I didn't know. Yeah. I need 5 people. All I need is 5 people to subscribe to the channel, and we will be at 92,000. Okay, I need 4 people. Don't hate watch. You're not going to sit up here and hate watch me. You're going to subscribe to this channel. 3 people. I need 3 people to subscribe to the channel. I need 3 more people. Look where we at. I want y'all to see where we at. Okay? See that? See, you can't see. It's almost, I need 3 people to subscribe to the channel, and I get back to work. I got more to say. I'll talk to you. 2 people. I need 2 people. I got 92,598 people. Subscribe to the channel now. 1 person. I need 1 person to get me to 92,600. And I get back to work. I'm going to get back to work as soon as y'all give me my 92,600 people. There we go. Praise God. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Now let's get back. Let's get back to where we at. I'd like to thank all the crusty feet people, all the ladies with bonnets on. Okay, I'd like to thank all the angry Muslims, all the white supremacists. Everybody's welcome here with Uncle D, baby. Everybody welcome to get this work. Uncle D is passing out the truth over here. I'm here to hurt your ears, make you feel bad. Yeah, next time they tell you don't eat that pork sandwich, brother. You know you worshiping the damn racist ass religion. You got that brother-in-law trying to, yeah, man, when you gonna come down to the mob? You know you're racist, man. But anyway. Long before the first 20 Africans arrived at Jamestown in 1619, people of African ancestry were already shaping what would become the American Southwest. The earliest black settlers in the western United States were Spanish speakers who came north from what is now Mexico. Their story begins in 1519, when Africans, free and enslaved, were among the Spanish forces that overthrew the Aztec Empire and established colonial New Spain. In the centuries that followed, New Spain imported nearly 500,000 enslaved Africans, more than were brought to mainland British North America. These men and women came from the Upper Guinea Coast, the Ashanti Empire, Yoruba and Igbo regions of present-day Nigeria, and Central African kingdoms like Congo and Angola. Unlike in the British colonies, Africans in New Spain did not remain a separate caste. Over time, most intermarried with Spaniards and the much larger indigenous population, creating a racially mixed society. By 1742, colonial records show that people of African descent, mulattoes, outnumbered mestizos, and together they formed a major part of the population, second only to indigenous peoples. This history matters because black presence in America didn't begin in chains on the Atlantic coast. It began earlier in Spanish-speaking lands, shaping the Southwest generations before Jamestown ever existed. All right, welcome back. Baby D wanted to take over for a little while. I let him get his little history in. Shout out, somebody type Baby D in the chat room. Somebody type Baby D in the chat room. Baby D is in here. Now, I'm going to take the opportunity to read these Cash App. Well, I read a couple of the Cash Apps. I want to read these Super Chats. Big shout out to Night Phoenix. I support Trump and ICE getting them up out of here. Out of here. Shout out to Canary Valens. It's all family friendly. That's exactly right. Happy Black American Month. Thank you, Dennis. Love your channel. Love you too, Jolena Tyborn. Thank you so much. Let's see who else we got in. Big J773. I was referring to the guy in the video. My bad, dog. My bad. But you know, people be coming up. I got to do what I got to do. But African royals have been in court of UK first years. Okay. Good to know. It's good to know. The one and done links. Please don't hold back. Give it to him. I'm giving it to him. Y'all told me I could, so I am. Kenneth Rogers. Salute, Mr. Spurling. Always a problem when we stand up. It is always a problem. It was all good when it was just them. We have understanding the people they sold were Hebrews, not their families. Read Deuteronomy 28, 15, 68. Also, if you read Genesis 15, 13, and 14, we'll tell you we'll receive our reparations. Thank you so much. Old Soldier said, instead of them fleeing, they should be working on restoring peace in their homelands. FBAs have never waged war on other groups. Nah, we done. We hadn't those people. We got 23 super chats. Thank you so much. Can we get 3 more? Only from people who learn something. I don't only want people who learn something to give me 3 more super chats. I don't want anybody who sat up here for 2 hours and didn't learn. Don't give me nothing. But let me see. Black Anthem USA. Rephrase this paragraph. Another theory out there. The Africans are ancestors that were stolen to slavery were Hebrews, the lost tribe of Israel that fled into Africa to escape persecution. What do you think? Well, you know, brother, I'm going to let y'all think about that, okay? I'm going to just focus on the history that I read, okay? That's what I'm going to do. But let me see. Love the broadcast you did the other day about the World War II heroes years ago. I met a veteran who has 555 parachute infantry members, a.k.a. the triple nickel. He told me bravery of the battalion, love my FBA lineage. Me too. We need to always give a big up to our heroes, our military veterans. Support our people. Y'all, thanks, son. Thank you so much. Luke, checks. Anikaba, I learned a lot from you. I'm from New Orleans. I never was taught about Black 24th Governor Louisiana Pinchback. Man, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I love New Orleans, man. One of my favorite towns. It makes sense now, doesn't it? It all makes sense. Also, Carlton Ward Jr., it's been almost 5 years and I never cease learning from your channel. Thank you, brother, for the valuable lectures. I'll catch the rest on replay. Well, thank you so much, Carlton Ward. I appreciate you, brother. All right, Real Conversation. Thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. And also, Denise Ados, thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. And let me see, we got African state projecting their insecurities on us. They need to be concerned about the wars back home, don't they? Right? But they keep messing with us, so I got questions too. Somebody type questions in the chat room. True tethers, in every sense of the word, the entire immigrant diaspora is crashing out, especially Africans, since we delineated. Stay on code, FBA family. Yeah, make sure you stay on code, baby. Mark Freelancers, learn something. Well, that's great to know. Sherelle Douglas, new member, and thank you so much for your membership. Now, again, we got 22 super chats. Thank you guys so much. You don't owe me anything. I don't ask people to give me anything unless you actually learn something. But if you did learn something, I should earn something, okay? I shouldn't have to, you know, if you learn, I should earn. That's my thing. You know, that makes me keep me on toes. And so the nights when I get 25, 30 super chats, I know, okay, these are subjects that I need to keep talking about. okay? But if you don't, that's how you let me know. Don't say anything about it. Well, anyway, look, my foundational Black American brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you all. All right, we need perspective. We have our own challenges in this country, right? We do. And we have poverty in some neighborhoods. We have crime in some areas. But what we do not have is centuries of long ethnic warfare, roaming militias, and entire regions collapsing under land and tribal conflict, okay? So for all the criticism thrown at us, the truth is we're builders. We built families, institutions, churches, businesses. We built and a culture under the same harshest conditions imaginable. What people often label as ghetto behavior is usually the symptom of poverty. Shout out to Eddie Washington. Maybe we'll get to 25. Again, what people label ghetto is a symptom of ghetto life. That's not the foundation of who we are as a people. That's not our identity. And we can't keep internalizing blame for conflicts we didn't create and can't control. When people come here from societies, they themselves fled. They brought a lot of unresolved tension with them. Okay, they brought it with them. Okay, my grandma used to say, when people say, "Oh, there's hell in this house," well, you came, you brought them with you. You understand what I'm saying? And I respect that now more than anything else. These people brought all this conflict with them when they came to this country. You know what I'm saying? We had something else going on. But again, what they label ghetto is really just an outcropping of poverty. And so we can't keep blaming ourselves for this conflict. We didn't create it, okay? They fled their country. They brought all these unresolved issues with them, all these tensions from the places that they came from. And that's not something that we require to carry. And we can understand why some people left that instability. We know why you left. I get it. But we're still not responsible for you importing it on your own. It's not wrong to say we want peace and stability and clear boundaries in our community. Delineation in that sense is not hostility, it's clarity. It is saying we know who we are, what we built, and what we want, what we will and won't absorb. And separation of identity is not separation of humanity. It's a protection of our legacy, and protecting what we built is not divisive in any way. It's responsible. Okay? Now, Africans, I want to talk to y'all, all you Africans. I want to speak to you all very plainly. You already said we're not the same. You've already said we're not Africans. You've already said we're not your brothers and sisters. You said we don't have a culture. You mocked our history. You looked down on our community. Okay, fine, cool. I mean, not cool, but whatever. But see, here's the thing that we're learning. You left your countries for a reason. People don't abandon functioning systems and societies. They don't leave thriving economies. They don't do that. They don't flee stability. You came here because something wasn't working there. And yet, after arriving here, you turn around and critique the very people whose struggle made this country accessible to you and so many others. And that's where the frustration comes in for us. We didn't migrate here. We were brought here against our will. We were brought in chains. We had our languages erased. We had our tribes erased. Our bloodlines erased, our history fragmented. And from that destruction, we built an entirely new people. It's called ethnogenesis. We built a culture from nothing. We built music that reshaped the world. We built political movements that reshaped law. We built institutions under segregation. We built economic power despite not being able to get a loan at the bank because of redlining. We built identity under oppression, and that's not weak at all. That's resilience at the highest level. So when someone who voluntarily brought their butts over here, okay, to come up and say we don't have culture, that's not just wrong, it's disrespectful. But here's where the tension begins. Many of you all have been very comfortable criticizing foundational Black Americans, our culture, our women, our men, our children, our history, how we live, our community challenges. But the whole time y'all benefiting from the foundation that we built a long time before you arrived. If you point a finger at us, you have to understand that we're gonna point 3 fingers back at you. When you critique our community, don't be surprised if people like me, Uncle D, begin to examine yours and make you uncomfortable. So when you question our outcomes, don't be surprised if people look at the conditions you left behind. And when I say people, I'm talking about me. Somebody type me in the chat room, me. Okay? Again, we didn't immigrate to America. Shout out to Wilson. We need one more super chat. We didn't immigrate to America. We were forced here. We survived one of the worst kinds of slavery that ever exists. We survived Jim Crow. This was after we fought in the Civil War. While we were fighting in World War II and World War II in Korea, fighting overseas to liberate populations, and we came home and we were second-class citizens. That's what we had to deal with segregation. You got the money and can't get a house. Redlining. You just can't get it over there. We survived sophisticated exclusion from wealth building for centuries, and we still did it. Somebody, shout out to Jolene Taborn. She said, me. Look, you got to understand who you're dealing with. We built churches, schools. Some of the people that built the schools and universities couldn't even read. We had cultural institutions before we even allowed to go in the front door of buildings. We had political movements before we even had the right to vote. Do you understand who we are? How can a bunch of little people, a little small percentage of people influence art globally? Name somebody else like us. You see? So you see why we want to protect our ethnic identity? We have stuff to protect. We had our languages erased, our lineages broken, our culture stripped, and we created it all over again. Again, that's called ethnogenesis. We did that. But I want you to understand something clearly before I go. I want you to be absolutely certain, okay? We're not interested in importing your instability. We're not interested in importing your unresolved ethnic conflicts. We're not interested in being lectured by people who fled their conditions, okay, that they now want to defend. See, respect go both ways. If you want to build here, then build. If you want to choose, you want to succeed here, then by all means, succeed. But don't undermine or belittle the people who struggle, laid the groundwork for your opportunity. Shout out to Big J. We don't want to be you. We're not trying to live like you live. We're not interested in importing these unresolved beefs that y'all have. We're not interested in importing the contempt disguised as cultural superiority. We built something different under harsher conditions. We good. So let this be the year that your cultural critiques of foundational Black American culture ends. Clearly, you all need to focus on your own business. You need to focus on some group therapy for the whole country. Y'all need some emotional development. You need some cultural growth. You need to go rebuild your own homeland. That's what you need to do. And the most important, you need to respect our identity, and we'll respect yours. But here's the bottom line. Delineation is not going anywhere. See, delineation is clarity, absolute clarity about who we are, what we built, and that's just not going to be negotiable at all. It's mandatory. If you say we are different, then we accept that. You say we're not Africans, we accept that. And we've moved accordingly. But what I can guarantee you this one thing is that era of silent tolerance for that cultural disrespect, that's over. That's over and done with. God bless you all. I love y'all. This is Uncle D, and as I always say at this time, I'm out.
In the Spurling podcast, hit the like button, subscribe.